Welcome to Prison to Paradise. My name is Michael Santos, and I just got a phone call from an individual who recently got out of prison. In fact, he hasn't quite got out of prison yet. He's still in a halfway house. Would you introduce yourself?
My name is Michael Monsiváis, and I'm right here at the Garden Grove Federal Halfway House in Orange County.
You're in a halfway house. I don't think you and I have ever met. Tell me where you and I connected. How do we have this connection?
Well, when I was at federal prison at the FCC in Lompoc, I came across an article. I was, involved with creating a lot of programs while I was incarcerated. I created an accredited welding program, which I taught and built from the ground up.
How long did you serve in prison, Michael?
Okay, I received a 130-month sentence.
Got it. Served 8 years, and you spent your time in prison. You're saying, let's summarize this. We don't have time for the whole biography. So you worked every day while you were in prison preparing for success?
Yes, I created and took every program I could.
And tell us about some of those programs. You also created programs, didn't you?
Yes. I created an accredited welding program in the facility from scratch.
How did you and I connect? That's what I still don't know.
Well, I was just, following a lot of people and success stories, and I came across your story, and I just put the number away.
You came across my number while you were in prison? Is that right? Or when you got out of prison?
In prison, I had heard, I'd seen a story about you and your business that you have and stuff. So I put that information away so that when I return, it would be nice to connect with you.
Well, great. So I don't know what story you read. I've been out of prison for 5 years now. In fact, it'll be 5 years in August. And I've been working to kind of build a career. Part of it is to inspire and educate people in prison. Part of it is to a different career that has nothing to do with prison. It's more to do with real estate development and so on. What were the questions that you had for me?
Well, I'm just coming out of prison, so I'm just trying to get situated with resources and all that. I've been going to the local, the one-stops and stuff like that. But the ultimate goal that I have is I've gotten so much feedback from this story that was published by FAM that I want to continue doing what I'm doing and create some other programs out here in the community to help others who, like myself, went down the wrong path and try to give these individuals, some guidance and share my story so that hopefully they don't make the same mistakes I made. Okay,
so got it. Understand what you're trying to do. But again, what is the question that you have for me?
Well, my question is, Mr. Santos, you've been out here, you've been successful, so I just would like to look, up to you as a mentor to help me, some of the obstacles that you had to go through when you were released after serving your lengthy sentence. So just any positive feedback or advice you can give, I'm open for it.
I don't know what level of groundwork you have done outside. What kind of resources and stuff do you have right now?
I don't have really much resources. I've been going to the one-stop centers.
What is a one-stop center? I don't know what a one-stop center is.
A one-stop center is, I guess, it's a nonprofit organization. I'm not sure if it's funded by the government, and they help you get resources like jobs, job leads, potentially give you assistance and training, work clothes and tools and basic necessities just to get you started. So that's where I'm at right now.
So you're really starting from ground zero, is that right?
From ground zero. I lost everything I ever had.
And if I were going to ask you, how do you define success? What would you say?
Success is being able to survive, to me at least, being able to survive out here in society without having to resort to criminal activity or other, crooked ways, So being able to survive out here, make it, work hard, do the right thing, stay focused, and stay legitimate, that's success.
Really? So let me just test you on that. Let me just test you on what you just said. So if that's success right now, what level would you give yourself as being successful? On a scale of 1 to 10, where are you?
I'm a 10 because I'm tired of that life and that lifestyle. I'm tired of wasting precious years behind bars. So
Have you been?
I am never going to go down that road again.
Okay, so when I asked you how do you define success, you gave yourself a 10. So that would imply to me you're at the highest level based on the way that you just described success. Am I correct?
Yes.
When you're doing that, Michael, when you're giving yourself a level of 10 on a scale of 1 to 10, how much room do you have for improvement?
Well, I'm as successful as far as setting my mind right and stop thinking the ways I used to think. You know, I learned a lot taking some of the programs that were offered in the Bureau of Prisons. So I know that the main part of my problem was my thinking. So now that I have, my thinking where it's supposed to be versus the old criminal mentality way, now I'm on the right road and on the road to start building my successful life out here in society.
But success, as you just described it, is a very low barrier, Michael. You just described success as being just staying out of the criminal lifestyle and surviving. And I would tell you that's not success. You have got to, that's one area of thinking that can help you, is you've got to recognize success is not just staying out of prison. That is the mentality of the prison system. Oh, just to stay out. I guarantee you, anybody who is successful outside, they're not even thinking about the prison system. It doesn't even go in their head, all right? You've got to be thinking at a much bigger level. And that's what the prison system needs to be better at doing, is helping people inside understand, no, that's not success. Nobody would define success as just not going back to prison. And that is fundamentally different from what worked for me, Michael. What worked for me was when I thought about success, I thought about real success. Real success. So that you're not living on the margins, you're not struggling, you're not just trying to get by, you've got to define it. And I want you to define success. Because I can tell you how many people I have interviewed. Okay? Truthfully, I really don't know what you know about me. Okay? But while I was in prison, I was in for 26 years, and every day that I was in there, I thought about success. And what I thought about success meaning was, how am I going to come back to society with my dignity intact, with opportunities to function as a law-abiding citizen, but to the extent that nobody would ever know that I served a day in prison unless I told them. But because I defined success as being able to employ people, to get employed, to raise credit, to buy assets, to build businesses, I chose a different path. I can guarantee you can go into any prison in America, and say how many guys are coming back, and there won't be a single hand that goes up. But that's not reality. People go back because they have these really low expectations, and then they come out and they try to make it out here, bro. And when they're trying to make it, they face enormous challenges. The challenges become so overwhelming that they revert back to the friends and the behaviors that led them into prison in the first place. And I know that you're saying, I don't want to do that, and I'm going to give you, respect for that and tell you, God bless, that's awesome. But I can't tell you how many guys I've met and come across that say the same thing. They just doing right. No, it's got to be more than that. You worked hard in prison to design programs. So success needs to be, okay, what am I skilled to do to be the best in the world at what I do? What is that? I want you to define that for me. Would you say you started preparing for your life when you got out? At what stage in the journey?
I would say within the last 18 months, I had to figure out, exactly when I was going to be getting out. But the last 18 months, I started getting everything in order with the union.
But Michael, I know that you must have some specific questions for me, because you call me and I don't know what they are. How can I help you?
Well, you're a businessman, and what I would like to seek your advice and opinion on is my other plan and my newfound passion for helping others and creating some programs out here, networking with people like you and others who become successful out in society, help maximize the effectiveness of my next project,
So
which is here in Southern California.
yeah, so here's the story, right? I finished my sentence in August of 2013, okay? And I put a plan in place that I said for 5 years, I'm going to work trying to build a career around my journey, which was creating digital programs and so on that I would hope would inspire and educate people at scale. It was going to be impossible to both earn a living and to work one-on-one with people. So you're asking me a question. I would be, if I were going to be honest with you, I would say it's the wrong path for you, Michael. You've got to become strong first. You can't right now be trying to save the planet and save the world. You've got to save yourself. You've got to get, as you just told me that a house costs $400,000 and you're going to make about $40 an hour and you're just coming back out of prison and you want to start working doing things that I did. But I was like 100 times farther ahead when I got out of jail than you are. Even though I did 26 years, I came out of jail really strong because I really prepared while I was inside. You're not even out of prison yet. You're in a halfway house. And you've got to learn to navigate all these challenges. And there's a ton of challenges awaiting you, right? You've got to get credit. You've got it right now. The first one is a driver's license. Then it's going to be you've got to get credit. You've got to get a job. You've got to get a banking account. You've got to build some savings. You've got to have an ability, a plan to get you into a house. And all of that is going to happen for you. I have no doubt. If you did all those things in prison, I have no doubt all those things are going to happen for you. Unless you make the decision of diverting any of your attention to try and get involved in things right now that are taking you away from what you need to solve first. The first thing you got to solve is get into the job market. And once you get into the job market, you got to have a 3-year plan or a 5-year plan that says, this is what I am going to do so that I own my first house within 2 years or 2.5 years. That's a much better plan for you than to say you want to work and create programs with me, because I can tell you I can't do it. I can't do it anymore, what I did for the first 5 years. That was a 5-year plan for me. But now I've got so many businesses going that it's impossible to do that. It's impossible to do that and create employment. And so my advice to you, get your job situated, straightened out, make some money, and get your house. And when you do that, after you are strong in 5 years or so, because it's going to take you several years to get strong. And when I say strong, successful, I mean successful to the point where you say, there's no way I can lose everything I have, right? I've already got a car, I've got a house, I've got responsibilities and obligations, and I've got to build more. You've got to get to that level before you can think about diverting your attention that's going to stop you from ever getting at that level. Does that make sense to you?
Makes perfect sense.
So there's a lot of guys that come out of prison, they say they want to do what you want to do, and it's a noble effort, because that's what's been driving you for 8 years, right? You've been creating programs that benefit hundreds of people, and you've saved a lot of lives because of what you've done, and you've made society safer because of what you've done. But now you've got to get yourself strong and then move forward. And in fact, I want you to connect with Titan Gilroy. Do you know who Titan Gilroy is?
I'm not sure. No,
That's okay.
So.
That's okay. I'm going to send you a text with a video I did of Titan Gilroy. And it's a great video I did. Titan Gilroy is a superstar. He went to prison for manslaughter. He was a professional fighter. He hit somebody and they died. And he went to prison. He got out of prison and tried to go back as a fighter, but realized if he did, he was making himself more vulnerable to problems. He took a entry-level job as a welder and built an entire program called CNC, Titans of CNC, that teaches people how to weld and so on. But the salient point
Okay.
of his story is before he started to try and save the world, he was extraordinarily successful, doing more than $1 million a month in revenues. And you know,
wow. Okay.
yeah, that's the message that I want you to see, because somebody's going to see Titan Gear and say, well, that's what I want to do, but they're going to miss the message. And the message is, before he did that, he picked himself up and made himself strong. And that's,
Before you run, you got to crawl.
you've got to crawl. And you come out of prison, and here's a big problem, bro. Big problem for guys coming out of prison, right? You were a superstar in prison, okay? In prison, you created programs, everybody respected you, right? You built something, you have total pride in what you've done, and now you're coming out here, and it's a whole different ball game, right? None of that matters, right? I mean, you're facing challenges that are really practical and really tough. And the best advice I can give you is don't do anything that will take your mind off of solving those problems, those immediate problems. Get yourself strong. Put, $10,000 in the bank and a job and this and that, and document the journey. Because if you document the journey of what you're doing, you're going to make it easier for people to believe in you out here. It's one thing to succeed in prison. It's a fundamentally different thing to succeed out here. And you've got to build that record that shows that you've done it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. That's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep fighting to get this license resolved, and then I'm going to go to work, and I'm going to stack my little egg nest together, and take care of all my priorities first.
So I would really recommend that you write these things out, and then you use that little machine that you've got in your hand right now. Do you know what that machine is?
That's that little phone.
What size? What kind of phone do you have?
iPhone 8.
Okay, you have an iPhone 8. Do you know that your iPhone 8 is more powerful than the computers that used to exist when I went to prison? They're more powerful than the computers that Ronald Reagan ran the country with. Your iPhone 8. Okay, that's a fact. Okay? Now, if you want to put yourself on a pathway to success, here's what I recommend that you do. With your iPhone 8, as soon as this video hangs up, as soon as this audio phone call hangs up, I want you to go to your iPhone 8. I want you to open that little app. Let me see which one it is. I've got an iPhone 8 in my hand, and in my other hand, I got an iPhone 10, and I'm going to look at it, and I'm going to tell you what to do. I want you to pull up that app that says Camera. Okay? And on Camera, when you open that app, you're going to see that it says Video. Okay? All right? I want you to make a video every single day of between 2 minutes and 10 minutes. And in that video, I want you to document the journey. I want you to talk about what you have learned, what you are learning of how tough it is to come back to society. And I want you to talk about the strategies that you are using to overcome those struggles. And I want you to publish those videos on a Facebook page that you create. Can you do that?
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay. Now let me tell you why you want to.
I'm limited on the times I can actually take photos or videos while I'm in the facility. We're not allowed to, but definitely I do get my little 1 hour rec breaks and stuff, and I could do that out on.
All right. I'm giving you real, actionable plan for you to make some money. Okay? You document this story on your phone and you publish it on Facebook. And you publish it on Instagram. You spend time learning how to use Facebook and Instagram. And you tell your story about what it was like to go to prison, to develop a course, to come back to society, and to start building your course. And you film these in episodes of from 2 minutes to 10 minutes. And then I'm going to give you a great tool. Okay, you got a pencil?
Yeah.
That's all right. I'm going to record it. Here, I'm just going to spell it for you, right? It's Google.
L-E.
Yeah, you know what that is? That's Google, Bubby.
My friend right now.
Huh?
That's what I'm learning.
That's right.
That's how I'm
You
learning
go on,
everything right now.
you go on Google, you watch YouTube videos, you make your own videos of what you're doing, and you are going to build an audience of people who are following you. And they're going to learn from you because you've taken the time to document your journey. And when you go to employers, you show that to them. And in 2 years, you are going to have hundreds and hundreds of episodes. And you are going to use those episodes to open up lines of credit, to build customer relationships, to do all kinds of things. But if you don't do that, you're going to have missed an opportunity that you have right now.
Okay.
You document this journey, and that'll cause you to think more critically. You'll be able to think, what can I do today? And you're going to say, am I doing everything within my power to become successful? And then you watch YouTube videos and you see other people who have become successful and you see what that do. And I'm going to guarantee you one thing, bro. I'm not telling you to do one thing that I didn't do and that I am not still doing today. Okay? This is how I built my career. Documenting the journey, showing people I'm not somebody who talks about it, I do it. And that's what you're going to do. You're going to do it. Document it though. There's a lot you know that you can help people with, but you can't do it one-on-one, right? You can't tell your story and teach people how to learn from your story. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Sweet. All right. I'm going to figure out how to mix this video. I got to figure out if I got good audio with you because I still don't know if I do or not. But if I do, I'm going to publish it and I'm going to send you a link. But I'm going to ask you, open up your own Facebook page, open up your own Instagram
I
page.
have one.
Great. Start publishing videos. Start doing live videos there right now. Okay?
Okay.
Do you?
All right, Michael. It sounds good.
Good. Do you have
And
go ahead. What were you going to say?
no, go ahead.
You can go visit my website, a simple website I have called Success After Prison. Okay? And you can see how I did exactly what I am telling you to do. But everything is automated, right? I've got a YouTube channel for that, and that has nothing to do with prison. This is a real estate program that I do. But everything in my career is built around my journey because I'd say I never asked somebody to do something that I didn't do. Okay?
Yeah.
I want you
Okay.
to follow this path of success after prison. So the website is called Prison to Paradise. All right?
Okay.
That's the same thing for the YouTube channel. Watch how I do it, and you do the same thing for you. Okay, bro?
Okay. Thank you.
God bless you, brother. Good luck to you.
All right.
Bye.
Thank you for your time.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, that was one story of a guy that I try to help. I know it's tough because, people reach out and they think I can give them more guidance and advice than I have time for, but the reality is I can't. I was in jail for 26 years and I'm working every day building my business and trying to become successful myself. So I create all these these recipes that other people can follow, and it's my way of trying to show people this is how you do it. You've got to be authentic, you've got to be transparent, you've got to ask the world to hold you accountable, and if you do that, you got a better shot of success. But I got to disconnect right now because I got to get back to work, and just wanted to share this live coaching call with a guy who just got out of jail. Thanks.